some of these schedules are like right now, some teams have played 1 to 2 conference games and they go back to non-conference. What's the strategy here if either of you want to jump in when you're doing that?
Well, I think you just kind of have to dive in. And a lot of these teams are playing really tough schedules anyway, because this year you have the Gavitt games on the men's side. So that's going to be an opponent coming from the Big East. And I think it pays now to load up your non-conference because, if you lose to a team that's in the 200s or the 300s of KenPom or the net rankings, that's a real mark against your resume come Selection Sunday. So you are better off actually scheduling high major teams. And now, granted, you want to play some of the mid majors, some of the low majors, and certainly timing is everything. Purdue, I think, is a perfect example. They go to Hawaii, they play 3 games against 3 really good teams, and they came back and played against Texas Southern, who traditionally is a 300 net team. And that's, you're dealing with jet lag, you're dealing with the travel, you're dealing with coming off the high of winning that tournament. So they will schedule some lesser opponents as well, but I mean, you look at these schedules for these teams, and they truly are gauntlets. And I just think you've got to find a way to get through them. The coaches don't like them. They don't like these games early in December. For the fans and for us covering them, they're great. I mean, because we want to see Big Ten against Big Ten teams play. It's better TV. It's better entertainment. And that so much is on the line as well. So I think you just have to kind of take it one game at a time. And, I was always amazed, and I wonder if Meghan felt this way too. As a player, when you're in the season, it's just amazing how you can win 3 in a row and feel like, man, we're on top of the world. And then you lose a game or 2, and it's like, are we ever going to win again? Even though it's only been like a week. The roller coasters of the season can be quite impressive. And I think a lot of teams are going through that on the men's side right now, because there have been some teams that have really struggled. You look at Michigan State, you look at Maryland, but it is a long year. There is time to get right, but you've got to start figuring it out, and they're running out of time to kind of do that, because once you get into January, it's pretty much nonstop. You're going every Tuesday, Saturday, or Sunday, and you're playing.
To that point, the coaches hate having this like one game or 2 games, then you get have a couple more non-conference. From a rhythm standpoint, because once you get into conference play, you at least for the most part, like have a set schedule. Like we're off every Monday. Then I know I'm getting treatment, getting extra shots up here. Then like Tuesday, Wednesday, practice, travel day. So you get into that rhythm and that routine, which is helpful for anybody within the course of a season. Although like nowadays there's like 18, 19, 20 games in conference play. And it's crazy over the last 10 years how much has changed. But I think that it's really important, to Robbie's point, to build a good non-conference resume, because you have to get ready for Big Ten play. Like these teams, you look at that Iowa-Wisconsin game on the women's side, and it was a game in the first half. Like these teams are no joke anymore. There's nobody on the schedule you can pull up and be like, that's an easy W, like you've been able to in the past. So you have to schedule and challenge yourself in the non-conference, even if you get you're kicked. I don't know if we're allowed to curse on this podcast. Probably not. So I won't. But you have to have that tough. And I look at Maryland, and I applaud Brenda Freese, because she schedules the South Carolinas and the UConns of the world, and Maryland's down. This is probably one of the lesser talented Maryland teams since they've been in the Big Ten. But yet they still have that gauntlet of a schedule. So when they are in a January, February knockdown, drag out fight, at least they have that experience from a UConn or a South Carolina game to lean on when you have new players.